Hey guys, I'm able to stand here and watch the world go by. And I can also stand here and watch some destruction going on. Don't know if you think that's tidy wall building. Let's take a closer look, because it really isn't. Hang on for this video, guys, and I'm going to show you multiple angles here. Do you guys have craftsmen this poor at their work, where they put in all this little shit? I refer to them as little veins when they're connecting, because these beings are so into patterns and into pathways and stuff like that. They just connect, making patterns and pathways. So there's some veins going on here. I don't know what you really truly see in all of that little fracking rock in there, but go with it and trust yourself that this is not right. This is somebody breaking away, tearing away at just this wall. And you gotta believe me when I tell you all the other stuff. This video is connected to a host of other ones on this in particular Starbucks retaining wall. And you'll be able to see this wall without hardly any damage on it. Actually, we're gonna go around to the front now and you'll see where there is, these patterns aren't even happening so much yet. So here we are starting to take the bend. And I'm sure you're starting to realize there's a big pattern difference, isn't there? But this faces this road. That faces that road. Eye candy, you get what I'm saying? They present to our eyes. Kind of funny, I literally just got pushed off of the sidewalk by that woman. Not her man. Totally just pushed right off, but not by her man. I gave him the thumbs up, like it was okay. Because I'm sure he felt like, kind of like almost a jerk. So you can see a big difference here, guys, and you'll remember that painting mark there, because it's been there all along. I'm pretty sure it almost looks darker now, though. So, I don't know. And one of the spots I would always point out is this spot in here. See that rock with the one piece of it not cleaned off? What's going on here is this plant has just come in to cover that corner of the wall. And I would talk about that pile right down on the ground there too. How it was always, well, that one there, wherever, is always changing around. I point out how a lot of the bits of those rocks, because there's not, how many little pieces, like all those little pieces on top and stuff, are all part of it. And even the ones that you might have noticed on the bend there, there's some, some hefty pieces that have been put up there and stuff. So many of these pieces that you can see broken off at the front here are totally gone. They haven't shoved them into those little crevices. They end up over here or elsewhere. So hang on, I'm going to show you some damage on this retaining wall right here that's always also going on. You can look and realize that this cement, look at the different colors in it there. Notice that? Because that lower section's probably had one of their just go through cleans. This one hasn't happened yet, but over the years it has been being tattered with. You look at the sides of the curbs and stuff, you'll start to realize how strong concrete really is. The paint, they peel it off. Let's go look at this wall. And I'm going to surprise you something new before the end of this video of a big event coming from these guys. A very big event. So here I am right in front of the wall. And I want to point out, I'm going to point out a whole whack of these going on. And you can see there's a different filler. So what's going on here is there's actually been cracking going on. And they will continue to make it worse. They'll come and they'll put fillers in here that with this fineness that they take off of the wall that I'm getting on my fingers, you can see. Okay, think about that, being out here in the weather and it's able to do that. You figure this thing would be washed every time. You get that? And it would wear in the wash. And it'll push the stuff down there, not sit there on the wall so I can rub it off. Anyway, so you take a whole bunch of that compound, you know, a pellet worth of it, you mix it with some spit, whatever, you can do that stuff. And that's what's happening there. You get to see another one. There's not really some kind of a weird corrosion in this area that is affecting the cement. It's actually thicker and denser because it's just made of the real fine powder. See right in there really well? And then when you start to notice this one right here, not very many air pockets if you really think about it. This coloration, this rain coloration is partly them, guys. Like if we really got into this and stuff and started looking at it and stuff, you'll see details that you'll be willing to put on their list. So look at that, how crack comes all the way up to the top. Most of these cracks probably do not even sufficiently go into the wall. We could probably core drill just 2 inches in, pull that little plug off, and see that this is mostly surfaced. Doesn't mean that it doesn't end up driving through all the way. This isn't really about trying to make a spot where the wall will crack, but I'm sure the engineers to some extent think that. But what this is more the splitting of it for if you have to. There we go. Kind of lost my thought there. But so what I'm starting to say about this is, before I was talking a lot that it could be leaching from the walls. But why isn't it leaching here where there's still a crack and there would be water? And this one's way heavier, so there's a perfect example. I don't think this is leaching. I'm starting to get to the point where I think it's one of the products they come in place on here for the leaching understanding. And the reason is because when you see it puddling like this, outwardness, why isn't it actually just giving a full flow of downwardsness instead of that kind of a line pattern? Little pocking will come along this wall again eventually. We've got it on video even. And so even though this, where you see it's kind of weird and stuff, not very well. Ooh. Sorry about that, guys. So you can see what's happening. Let's turn around and look at the sidewalk now when we walk up. So what I decided to do is, just because there's a bit of a bend in the wall right here, I came to this point. But look at this crack, how much different information it tells us compared to these ones. Okay, now we're going to walk up and we're going to look at the sidewalk, and I'm going to tell you something. Along those edges and stuff, that's all little breaks of them. Just come along there and break in there. How else would that actually be chipping away? You know it wouldn't have been finished like that. First chip there, that'll be them. All this, where all the fine granular of the cement is also gone. There's the colorization. We're going to walk over that where I say this is part of them just doing a high intense cleaning. Sometimes, like right now, if you look properly, you can kind of see it's thatched that way. This got a scraping pattern that way, and not so much cross thatched. Lots of times you get to see it's cross thatched. Sidewalks, you ever notice a heavy wear pattern going this way? It's always going on the shorter way of the sidewalk. Like here it'd be like 6 or 8 feet or whatever. That would be 300 feet. So right here we get to really see the pattern of color change. And if you zoomed in there and did whatever you wanted to do and stuff, you might be able to get significant scratch lines that verify my work. Like scratching where you can tell it went and it started from here and went here, and then it's helped clean this, but you can tell where it's not so much here. All this asphalt here, because they're really only on the uproar of this, you guys. That's one thing I noticed. So see all that side asphalt stuff there? We're lucky to even have that there still. And you think about it, cars drive on it all the time, and it's little edges on the cement, and it's never fully broken away. But these guys now in this process, that's when you'll see that stuff all notice go away. Cracks in your roads and stuff become bigger. All the paint lines don't even last a year anymore. So here's the big new one I want to surprise you guys with, because it's not going on yet. I think you probably know what that is, but I'll fill you in. What this is, this one's a newly repaired one, it looks, or newly changed or something, so maybe there is stuff going on. Oh, basically underground wire to these polling stations, and somewhere around here will be a computer system that runs it. Anyways, you see the old one under there? Let's just say this. The tar's all gone from it, that they used to seal the wire in there. What this wire, why it's in a loop, is because it's completing a circuit. So it has to be loopified. Now, if anybody comes and breaks the loop, or breaks the power here or whatever in any way, then most likely they'll just replace it, because they'll just realize, okay, it's in here, it must be just really faulty, whatever. Guy comes along, puts the X here and says, put it centered to this, whatever's going on, right? Watch your places, because this tar is the same thing as like this. It gets peeled up really easy and so on and so forth. So they peeling this up. They're gonna feel, this is a low voltage wire. They're gonna feel comfortable eventually for doing whatever damage. Now look at this tree. That is all the same signatures of claw marks, guys, that I'm talking about. That is doing that rock wall there. Doing this sidewalk, cleaning it, breaking it down, eco-recycling dudes. That's what they are. They're not after us. See all this? We're supposed to believe a trailer or something scraped that low, and has scraped all the way along here and stuff. What, is tire completely fall right off? You know what I mean? Their common sense is different than ours. So heavy tar, less tar. See how that tar's all gone? So really, see that rust color a little bit there? Understand, wherever you see the heavy rust color, it's not rust. It's part of the chemical mixtures they like to do and stuff. What's that new word I'm trying to really get into using now? Alchemists. Where they're the original guys that will do those kind of things. And they'll frick around with little rocks like this too, guys, and they'll turn them down into sand. And they're doing it really close and comfortable to us now, because look at like this sidewalk right here. We've got to see this sidewalk right there, and it really just grew with all those rocks. Most of them anyways. So when we walk up here, we actually do have opportunity to be able to see them in here. Because they're everywhere, you guys. I know I have to sound crazy saying that, but people aren't coming in hordes right now. So this information is probably for later. And what I want you guys to realize, there's not going to be anybody as lucky as me. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. I walked their whole path. I figured out how to get to these path marks. You don't have to. You just start memorizing the different things that I put claim towards, and yeah, do your thing. While I do mine. Oops. Because, yeah, just do what you do. I'm not talking anymore. This was a big mouthful. And a big earful for you. Watch my videos more than once, man. I've always told my kids, once you figure out the right answer, look at it a number of times. Put it in your head. And don't say the wrong answer anymore. Don't be looking out there going, oh, I see some structures or something. Who cares about the structures? Look for other things. Alrighty. Peace out, guys.